Let's start by shaping the terrain using Heightfields. Beginning in an empty scene, we're going to change to the terrain desktop, which gives us terrain focus tools. Press the display options and set the color scheme to dark. And once we have that, we can save our start file. First, we'll create a new project. We'll call that terrain_lesson and press accept. It's always good to organize your files in a directory structure like this. We'll save the first file, initial file, as terrain_01, and it goes inside that project directory. So once we have that, we'll click on the Heightfield option here, press enter to place it at the origin, spacebar H to home the view. Once that, we'll press C to get the radial button, and we can go over and get the noise option, and that applies a noise node to the Heightfield. In the parameter pane, we can see the different options that we have available. We can change the noise type to Worley Cellular and change some of the parameters to get what we need. You can explore these. You can do things like offset it here in the parameter pane. And in addition to doing that, you can actually take a handle and just sort of push and pull that through there to get a feel, or just press undo to go back to the settings that we had. Once we have that, we'll press the radial button and we'll again this time add a Heightfield blur, and this will create a nice soft look to what we're working on here. And then we'll set up a Heightfield distort to add more detail. You can see how the different kinds of noise and distortion and so on can be layered on top of each other using these Heightfields. And then we'll add more noise again, but this time not a big details, but rather smaller details that just enhance what we've got already. Now once you have all of that, what we can do is take those first 4 nodes, put them into a network box, and define that as the beginning of our network. It's good to organize things as you go along, easier to find them as you come back. So shape the terrain, that's what the first box here has completed. So we've got the basic shape with some initial noises all layered on top of each other. So now we're going to go in and mask what we've got. And we're going to mask by a particular feature, in this case by slope, and we're going to go a little more high on the slope so we're getting the sides of the mountain there. Then we can go in and take that and erode and slump, and you see how those areas have sort of just eroded down and created these nice streaks, and we can play around with that to get what we want, and that defines some terrain details that add realism to the look and feel. Now, once we have this, we can continue to enhance that a little bit further. We can middle click if we want to see what's been created so far, and we see all sorts of detail attributes, height, flow, all of these sort of layers exist already within this. Now we're going to remap the terrain, and what this does is we can go into here and say, let's get the flow, and we're going to compute the range, which is got the min and the max there, and we can change that so that the max is 1. So we're going, instead of going from 0 to 132, we're going from 0 to 1, and that can be used later on. And then we clear the mask. This gives us a fresh start, and we can use a new mask to do new things. Let's take those nodes, and we'll again put them in a network box, and we'll call this the create flow mask. And so the flow mask, we use this to create it, and also it was stored off to the side.